Hello YouTube, I'm back again with another video. I'm going to be about to give you some drama as I didn't get the chance to talk about Carmelo Anthony, who is a future Hall of Famer, who's also a former All-Star player for the Denver Nuggets. And before I get into the more important stuff, he's in a relationship with this IG model, definitely someone that you cannot trust, especially with all the claims that were made about her, especially when there was leaked text messages that were exposed after Dwayne Haskins has passed away in April 2022, especially the shady stuff that's going on between the two. And now that Carmelo is in a relationship with her, more drama is going to ensue, as it probably, well, we don't know whether it gets worse or especially late in the future, but I'll be able to explain more what's going on. So the reason why Carmelo Anthony decides to be in a relationship with this woman is because I think he most likely recently broke up with his wife, his fiance, Delala Anthony, who I'm pretty sure he met and then decided to be in a relationship with during his college years when they were still young. And I'm guessing he was out of desperation that he decided to meet with this girl, and he was clearly thirsty. And noticing that, you'll notice that Vanessa Chantal doesn't really see him, doesn't realize that she doesn't see them being close together, that she doesn't see him as being his close girlfriend or someone that he treats as a loyalty or royalty, however you want to call it, or the fact that he doesn't drool over this woman, he does not worship her. And this is what it gets to the point where like I talked about, the drama will ensue even more. But at the same time, she's trying to impact his life, trying to be in control, because that's the thing what these guys don't realize, especially whether you're a celebrity or not. You have to think smarter. You have to think behind the box. You got to think outside the box too at times, because some people, and I hate to say it, a lot of these men, when they're desperate, or when they're mad, or they're madly horny, or they have a crush on somebody, they can't control the urges, and they lose like common sense. They start to lack common sense, and they don't think clearly. Just like in the past I've been telling you guys. So she realizes that he doesn't see her as anybody special. He doesn't see her as his #1 girl, someone that he's gonna be in a like huge long-term relationship, intimate relationship. Most likely it's gonna be intimate relationship, but gonna be a short-term relationship. And here I'm gonna show you why she starts the drama. She claims that she exposed Carmelo and her other boyfriends that she's been dating, and she's trying to punish him, trying to embarrass him, saying that since he doesn't have a ring, like if they both have no rings, that she's trying to like disrespect him. She's trying to insult him by insinuating since he doesn't have a ring that he can't afford to give her a ring. So basically trying to play him just so that she can do this for clout, to gain more publicity, and to basically entice herself, trying to uplift her ego. Just ignorant enough to post this on Instagram, thinking that she's accomplished something when clearly she has not, because she's trying to get the jump on him. As you can tell, like, considering what Carmelo has been through, he's made mistakes. People have said that, like, I'm pretty sure, I want to know what she's, I want to know how is she going to try to expose him for what? Like, what did he do? Because he's made mistakes. Not, like, to be honest, a person's relationship is not really the public's business. But either way, the public wants to keep an eye on that, considering it has no effect on them. It's just to help them gain more news for the media outlets, so they can gain more views, and for the fact that people are going to want to collaborate want to talk about it and hear their points of the situation, how it could have been handled, what could have been the cause. But again, I feel the reason why she is trying to treat Carmelo like dirt and trying to stab him behind the back is because he doesn't have the money. He's not doing her any favors. He's not willing to buy her a ring like it says on this in the IG story that you're looking at right now in front of you. And she feels just because she's an Instagram model, she can have her way. She tries to use her looks to persuade men. And it's unfortunate. I feel like I said, Carmelo Anthony did this because there are a lot of guys that are thirsty. They're only in it for the sex, but the moment they realize once it's done, once they're done being intimate, they try to leave that relationship immediately because they have so because they realize because just think of the amount of who knows, he's probably been in a lot of relationships. Just think of the amount of relationships and the amount of money he has to actually be with all sorts of women. I'm sure he's already known by now, based on his experience, that eventually this woman will take advantage of him and she's going to try to control him. And he's doing, if anything, he's doing well for himself. It's also a bold move to actually try not to think of the relationship too far because you don't know that person at a person level because you were only in it for the sex. Let's be honest. And there's so much that you can accomplish by yourself. Is that like people want that gratification once they're in the relationship? They realize it's not going to be long term, especially for men. They realize they don't want it to be a long term relationship simply because they realize their life could be ruined by the person that they're with. And they try very hard not to get close with the person and to try to go on with the relationship because they realize that there will eventually be upcoming problems for them in the future. Like problems will ensue later for them. So it's best to eventually leave that relationship and try to be able to be independent and try to be able to take care of yourself and realize not everyone is going to support you just because you're in a relationship with them. It's also best to also count on people that you trust, whether they are your family members. Like it's best to trust your family members, honestly, at most. But it's now these days very hard. But it's also more. It's more about trusting your instincts, so that you can be in the clear, so that you don't have to get stuck in some drama, so you don't end up embarrassing yourself. You can live your life without having to be stressed. Because the more this persists, the stressful you become, and you might end up being reckless. And I personally feel I don't blame Carmelo Anthony. I personally feel that he did nothing wrong, and for whoever she's trying to expose and what she's trying to gain out of this, she clearly has failed because honestly, it's normal for people to make mistakes. And what he did does not affect anybody's life. He did not harm anybody. He did not steal from anybody. He did not abuse anybody. So he did not abuse anybody. So for her to try to escalate it to the point where she's trying to make it seem like he did something wrong, as if it somehow is as if she needs to she needs to bring his privacy to everyone else's life, especially when it's not personal, clearly shows that this woman is simply doing it for herself. She has a massive ego. She wants the views and she wants people to be on her side, which I do realize people aren't, because whether she's attractive or not, they know who's in the right and who's in the wrong, and we know Carmelo Anthony did nothing wrong, and he does not deserve any backlash. Because, like I said, it is normal to make mistakes. Like I said, as long as he's not harming anybody, as long as he's not a danger to society, we all know that he is completely innocent. And this woman is doing this to ruin his life, in order to gain her own success, or for people to side with her and be able to simp over her. And you can definitely tell just by the way she looks and the way she poses. So don't be manipulated as this thing just because someone's attractive that they're most likely trustworthy, because that is the world that we live in. And I'm trying to ensure that you guys have a better understanding that Just because someone is good looking does not mean they are trustworthy, and you can't always count on them because Carmelo, I think, considering how long people have known him for, he's most likely people are most likely gonna side with him. They're gonna they would rather hear from him simply because he is the bigger person, which is entirely true. Not only because he's an all-star, not only because he's a professional like athlete, but he seems more mature compared to her. And who you guys can decide who you get to choose by. Know who I'm gonna pick. I'm pretty sure you guys are aware because I already explained it. So again, hope you guys enjoy the video. Be sure to check for more upcoming content in the future. Be sure to check your notifications, comment, like, subscribe. Thank you.